Hi guys, and welcome to the PS4 Pro versus the PS5 Borderlands 3 comparison. I was asked the big difference between the PS5 and the PS4, especially the PS4 Pro, and is it worth upgrading your PS4 or PS4 Pro to the PS5 for your PS4 games? And let me just tell you, I feel like it's better to just show you the comparison, so we are going to jump into this comparison. A quick disclaimer, I was only able to record footage from the PS4 Pro versions versus the PS5, but from all my research, the Xbox One X to the Xbox Series X is also a very similar comparison, and very much worth noting that the similarities should be the exact same with very, very minor differences. So without further ado, let's kind of just jump into this comparison. Your first biggest note is going to be your load times. Load times are a breeze on the PS5, especially with the NVMe, sometimes taking up to a minute, 2 minutes faster, depending upon variables. And I think that this is kind of one of the biggest notices you will find in the game. From all the research I have done, it takes anywhere from about a minute to 2 minutes, depending upon the game, to load in compared to the PS5. In this example, we are about 2 minutes and 20 seconds into getting a PS4 version of the Borderlands 3 running versus the 43 seconds that it takes us to get into Borderlands 3 and optimally running. As also noted, the PS4 Pro and PS4 versions, the menu options have always been kind of laggy and kind of chuggy. That does not seem to be an issue at all on the PS5 version. You seem to get a lot smoother loading and transitions into your menu versus the PS4 or PS4 Pro versions. As you're looking here, we got the PS4 running in performance mode. It is running at a 60 frames a second. Do note though, it is not a capped 60 frames a second. And that was one of the biggest issues with the PS4 Pro. You get a good draw distance and good texture quality in comparisons to the PS4 base version. Here's the PS4 Graphics Mode. Graphics Mode is about the same. The only big difference is it's sitting at about 30 frames a second. You're getting that 4K quality locked at that 30 frames a second, so that is due noted. Your draw distances is also something that you'll notice. As you look here, we're jumping into the PS5 Performance Mode. Now this is locked at a 1080p quality, but you're also getting up to 120 frames a second if your monitor allows. If your monitor does not allow, you are locked at that 60 frames a second, which is still acceptable. If you notice, you are getting a lot better of a draw distance and a lot more sharper textures on the PS5 versus what we saw on the PS4. And then here we got the biggest difference. This is the PS5 Graphics Mode. Running natively at 4K, can be locked at 60 frames a second. And if you look at the PS4 Graphics Mode versus the PS5 Graphics Mode, it's almost night and day a difference between quality and draw distance, textures, as well as that 30 frames a second lock kind of makes everything look janky versus the 60 frames lock on the PS5. Makes everything a lot cleaner. You'll also notice the comparisons here in another scene. Very much the same thing, Performance Mode versus Graphics Mode. Get that 30 frames locked on the PS4 Pro versus that 60 frames not locked on the PS4 Pro with Performance Mode versus the PS5 Performance Mode and PS5 Graphics Mode. Biggest difference is going to be your draw distances and textures. Other than that, they're pretty much identical. Like I said, both running at a 60 frames up to 120 frames if your monitor allows. Now looking at the PS4 Pro Graphics Mode versus the PS5 Graphics Mode, again, you see the big difference in draw distance and details. Not only that, the 60 frames versus 30 frames is huge change. We are going to be showing this is the PS4 Pro Performance Mode, so running at a 60 frames a second. Still not locked, though you do notice some dips and some stutters sometimes. It doesn't look as smooth versus the PS5 in Performance Mode that locks 60 frames a second. Not only that, with the good quality of textures and everything, just makes it outperform everything compared to the PS4 Pro. And now we're on to the PS4 Pro Graphics Mode and the PS5 Graphics Mode, and this is where you're going to notice the huge difference. Not only are you going to get that sharper textures and that better draw distance, but you are getting the game locked at that 60 frames a second in 4K on the graphics mode versus the PS4 Pro, which is locked at that 30 frames a second, which causes it to look a little bit more blurrier and a little bit more jittery as you're moving around compared to the PS5 with that smooth 60 frames a second gameplay. Alright guys, so like I said, in my comparison and in my research, the Xbox One X versus the Xbox Series X is almost in the exact same boat. Like I said, with very minor detailed differences from all the research I have done. As well as, I just think that if you guys have the expendable money to upgrade, the PS5 is an amazing jump and it will play your old games in a way better quality, and I think you will definitely enjoy it, and I think it will definitely be worth that upgrade. Alright guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. You guys are awesome. If you found this video knowledgeable or informative, please think about giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, turning on those notifications so you know when the next video goes up. I do a new video here on YouTube at least once a week. Also, if you guys have any questions about this video or any comments, think about putting them down below. Do not mind at all. I also do stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. You guys are more than welcome to join me there anytime you want. We're always just playing games, having fun, hanging out. You're also more than willing to ask me questions there or come and see me and see what I got going on. Until next time, guys, let's just play.